Cordial greeting, tutoring partners. My name is Camila Carvajal. I am a student, a bachelor degree in English as a foreign language. I am in 8th semester in math, and today I'm going to show you my proposal of evaluation for texting and evaluation in ELT. First one, I'm going to explain you the population group that I choose in step 4, and this is the purpose of evaluation that we are going to see today. The population group is 9 siblings aged 12 and 14 years who receive private English lessons because their parents want to travel to an English speaking country in a period approximately 3 years. Students receive 3 hours of English class every 2 days at home with a private teacher. This is the population group that I chose it because I think that with the teachers we can work very well using dynamics activities and making several things or we have several ways for teach English in different ways and using different methodologies and strategies. This is the description of the population group. First one, we have to know that they are 9 civil senior learners with plan to travel to other country for life, dynamic and willing to learn. So first one, we have to know that is not a decision of them to move to other country, is the decision of their parents, and we have to suppose that maybe these students just will develop in a normally constant in a school in a street constant in this country that they try to move. And second one, another important aspect is the age. They are students with 12 and 14 years old. In this age, they are so dynamic and they prefer learn with the things that they like to do or with the things that are interesting for them. The economical status are very well because they receive a private teacher. They receive lessons in their home. And so, for this reason, we have to suppose that have a private teacher is now too expensive, but it is obviously that we need to have a money or a good money for pay that. And another one is the hours because they receive 3 hours 2 days on the week. There are 6 hours during the week. And so we have to suppose for this information that they have an economical status. And so in this way, we can say that maybe they have a good technological tools in their home for learn. The nearest for them is the communicative very well in English. So we have to remember that the communicate in English is speaking and listening skills. And so this is the skill that we are going to try to improve or develop very well in these students. What methodology and strategies I should use for this case or for this population group. Bearing in mind or taking into account that the students in the previous case are adolescents or teenagers and that their needs in primarily communicate the method to be used will be audio linguistic with auditory and visual learning strategies. First one, I use I think in the methodology audio linguistic because with this methodology we can use several activities so dynamic for teachers where the students have to develop a relationship between the things that they can hear with the production. And so, for example, you can see in the first image, the students first one think and hear the song, but later or for later can talk in English. And so this is the idea with these students. Develop in them on yes, develop in them the good vocabulary and the good expressions in English that they maybe will have to use in the other country that their parents want to move. Why I choose or I say that the best strategy for this case is auditory and visual learning strategies, because in the auditory and visual, the students have to relate to develop a relationship between the imagine and the vocabulary. And so in this moment, if we analyze the case where the students are going to combine it or mix it, the audio linguistic and the auditory and visual activities that they are going to make or they are going to use, the students will develop a good strategy and a good vocabulary, and they will improve their speaking and their listening. For example, these students have to learn several vocabulary, maybe that the people use in the other country. We can suppose that this country is USA. And so, for example, they have to know how to say, I want to go to the restaurant. First one, we can imagine the word restaurant. If the student start to thinking in the restaurant, and in their mind, they know that restaurant is restaurante, they are going to say more easy, this is a restaurant or I need to go to the restaurant. Later it become mix this word or this methodology with an auditory and visual learning strategies. The students we are going to develop a better communicate competence for them in the different and constant context that they will be. It's like, for example, in their school, they can express their ideas. Maybe they, when they go out to I don't know, to the park or to the mall with their friends in the other country, they will come to express or the things that they want to know, make questions or say their ideas. What activities we can develop for a specific purpose? Is obviously that in this case we have to work the vocabulary, the listening, and the speaking. Why? Because the student have to move to the other country, and the most important in this case is that the students, when they will be in this country, can talk and can express very fluently the in English language. And so first one, the first activity is the vocabulary. The students need to have a lot of vocabulary for using and fluency conversation in English language. And so in this activity, for example, we can use the family vocabulary, the street vocabulary, the school vocabulary, the mall vocabulary. There are other ones in like, for example, the clothes, this common expressions, like in Spanish we do. And so this is the first one that we have to take into account. The second activity is listening. In this moment, we have to know that the students need to educate their hear in English language for understanding situations and things that people say in English language. So in this activity, the teacher can make, for example, see a movie, listen music, but all in English, obviously, because in this way, and talk in all time the English in English language, because with these activities or with these things, the students can develop their listening skill and they can understand very well when the person talk in English. Don't matter if it's slow or very fast. And the third last activity is speaking. In this, the students need to express in English language their ideas and wishes in the other ones. And so for this activity, the teacher can develop strategies or activities like, for example, make questions to the students, ask about any topic, I don't know, or maybe make a discussions class about any topic, because with these activities the students can lose the fear for talking English, and they can have to improve their pronunciation and use the vocabulary that they have to learn previously. Finally, we can find the evaluation for a specific purpose. It's obviously that in this case, we have to evaluate it, the pronunciation, the vocabulary, the listening, and the speaking. And so the evaluation for the present case was very dynamic and assertive, always bearing in mind that due to its need to use English from the communicative aspect or approach. Its teaching and evaluation should not be grammatical, but spoken and listening too. And for that, we must evaluate his fluency and ability to respond to questions asked in the English language. I think, or I propose for this, for the evaluation, the teacher maybe have to ask something um, about any topic, and the other one the teachers can make some dictations in English, and the another one the teacher can, for example, um, make to the students to complete any song, and the other one can see a movie and later talk about it, or about what happened in the movie, and something like that. The idea is that students use the vocabulary, um, evaluated the listening comprehension in the students, and finally, how is the fluency when they speak or talk in English language. Thank you so much.